Sue Parker. If you have been listening to the Mighty Leap Career podcast all this time, then you'll probably notice a slight switch in gear because we are going to start to have much more deeper conversations. Well, we've been really focused on tactics, haven't we? And we can all stay there in that safe place where we just think that it's the things we need to do that will enact the massive change in our lives. When in reality, there's so much more to it. Part of the 3 dimensions of the personal growth framework is that you have the development of your mindset, you have the development of the support network, and all the other elements that you really need so that you can start to achieve your goals. You can start to move forward because we all need to grow and we all need to progress, and we can't do that for as long as we're trying to follow a tactic that worked for somebody else. For as long as we're trying to do that, but still not having the same, it doesn't have the same results for us, does it? It's like your foot's on go and you're doing all the right things. It feels like you're in the right place. You're giving all the right answers. You're doing all the right work to the right standard. But for some reason, you're not progressing. You're not accelerating at the rate that you really feel that you should. You're not using your full potential. And that's having that foot on the brake thing all over again. It's gas, brake, why am I still not getting any traction? And that's what we want to get away from. So we're going to start to have some real deep conversations. I've got some fantastic interviews coming up as well, but I'm really going to challenge you because what kind of a trainer, what kind of a coach would I even be if I wasn't helping you to step outside your comfort zone and do something that's really going to make a difference to how you're showing up? Really make a difference to achieving your goals, to building that life that you do love, that you do wake up motivated and you do feel fulfilled. Because sometimes just doing a slight tweak over here and doing an action that somebody else told you to do is not going to cut it. And, I can stay playing safe. If we like the comfortable conversations that just talk over breakfast about what did you do today, then we can have those conversations. But I guarantee it will not help you get to where you want to get to tomorrow. And that's what we're here to do. So if you are ready to take on personal growth, you want to grow today, then keep listening and keep checking out. Join me on LinkedIn. Make sure to connect with me. Grab me for a virtual coffee. Learn more about how you can really excel, how we can build this 3D framework around you that all successful people have. They're talking about these things. They're working through these habits in their lives. They're building this framework. We just can't see it. To every single one of us, we look like we're doing the same things, the right things, but we're not having the same results. And that's where really having this framework around you will really start to see results. So I want you to join me. Yes, I'm going to stand out. Yes, we are going to risk being judged. Risk people not liking us, step out and be a particular way, a different way, but people are going to admire you. In years to come, people will be sending you messages thanking you for being a role model. People will reach out to you eventually and say, that was really great what you did there. When you're stepping out, when you're showing up in your true full flow, you've got all your energy behind you. You've got everything going for you. And you are setting the right example, being authentic role model to somebody else. Because let's face it, that's what we all love. So this is really relevant to the first kick-off session I'm going to have on how to develop this deeper conversation with you so that I can really challenge you to step out. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this very short episode and how it really gets you to think better. Every day is a really great day for you to be a better person. Let's start today. Hi, it's Sue, and I want to talk to you today all about integrity, honesty, congruence, and really acting like yourself. Because I'll bet, like so many, you admire that in somebody else. You think of your role model, your greatest role model, whether it's somebody like Oprah, whether it's your next door neighbour, your mum, whoever it is, I bet one of the things you really admire about them is their integrity and their honesty, their authenticity in the way they show up every day as their true selves. And they are self-confident and they have this way of inspiring other people. And I want you to challenge yourself to do the same. Let's role model that behaviour. So what does that even feel like for you? Now, you know when somebody buys you a new top, let's say for your birthday or something, and you open it up and you realise it's not really for you. But instead of giving it back and being rude, you're polite and you say, thank you, I really like it. And the next few times you see them, you wear it. But all the while, because it's not your clothes and it isn't really your style, you feel uncomfortable in it, don't you? And that can be the same for other things too. Like when you buy a house and it's perfectly good, it's perfectly serviceable, it doesn't need anything changing to it, it's just not your style. So you move in and you live with the kitchen for a while. You live with the fact that you don't really like the windows and maybe they're dark wood, lead work, and it's not your style. You live with it because it's perfectly serviceable, there's nothing wrong with it, it's really expensive and unnecessary to change. So you live with a kitchen that you don't really like. I had some friends who did this, they lived with the kitchen for many, many years, but they hate it when they deep down thought about it. It was perfectly functional, there was no real reason to change it. This year they changed it and they felt so good. They tell me how they feel differently in this space. They feel like themselves. They made it work for them. They've introduced an island and they've introduced other things that really work for them. It's them. It's their space. You know that thing about being in your own clothes? Feeling like yourself. And when you feel like yourself, you can come out a bit more authentic and a bit more honest. Now, when you think about your role model in the professional world, I bet you're thinking about somebody who shows up authentically. We've had enough, haven't we, of this fake media, of the fake news that shows us all these fake people with the really shallow sides to them. What we want to see is more authenticity, deeper connections and relationships. So we really admire it when we meet people who show the whole of themselves. The fact that they might be a working parent, they work really hard, they struggle in this area, they try to keep fit, they're struggling with their diet, we're doing all the things that everybody's doing wrong, but we're being open and honest about it. We accept when they say they don't know all the answers and they're asking for our help at work. So I want to ask you, have you been reactive in your career? Are you taking each day and not really bringing your whole self? Are you perhaps regulating your behaviour and stepped into a role that isn't really you? Perhaps you're going to an organisation or you hop online every day to an organisation where the business culture doesn't really fit with you. You feel like you're having to be somebody else to fit in all the time. Maybe you're having to do a job that doesn't feel in your natural flow. Part of what you're doing actually makes you feel uncomfortable, and not in a good way that it's stretching you, but uncomfortable in a way that it doesn't feel aligned to who you really are. So if we want to be more like our role models and we want to show up authentically, confidently, in full flow of what we're doing every single day and connected with it, then we need to figure out what that is. So I'm setting you a challenge for this week. Grab your diary, and every time you feel like you're being your authentic, natural self, your true self, I want you to write it down. Write down what you're doing at that time, what you're feeling, and where you are, what's happening in that interaction. Really get to grips with what it feels like to be your true self. And then when you've really got to grips with that, and you've recorded that over a course of weeks, you can reflect on that and find out how you do more of that. How you explore more of your true flow. How you explore more of the things that feel natural to you, the things you want to do, and how you start to then show up in those spaces and in those times authentically as your true self. I really hope that challenges you and really gets you to think about your role models as well and how they impact on what you're doing. I can't wait to see what you record. Drop me a message on LinkedIn or post a comment underneath the video. Here's to becoming empowered and having a high impact. Take care and have a fantastic week.